latest recon photos, sir.
Let's have a look.
These are the infrareds made last night at Anjou.
Runways.
Long enough for MiGs.
Set up a special recon mission right away. I'd like to have a better look at these by daylight.
Oh. Another marriage request.
Who's requesting this time, the girl or her father?
Father. He's the head of the Society for the Preservation of Japanese Shrines. Seems he considers his daughter in the nature of a shrine, and he wants to preserve her.
From whom?
Cosgrove, one of our best crew chiefs.
Obviously. Has the father complained to the provost marshal yet?
If he had, Cosgrove would be in the guardhouse.
I'll try to negotiate. We can't afford to lose a good crew chief.
There's a female reporter outside. She's been waiting quite some time.
All right, have her come in.
Thank you.
General Hale, this is Miss Jane Carter of the United Syndicate.
How do you do, Miss Carter?
You're very nice to give me your time, General Hale. Colonel Eckert told me how busy you are.
I'm always busy so far as Colonel Eckert's concerned. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Now, I suppose you're going to ask me a great many questions that security won't permit me to answer.
Well, I hope not.
Of course, I can tell you all about Operation Strangle. Even the commies know about that.
Well,
Here, let's take a look on the map. Here's the enemy. Blow up the bridge, there's no way to cross it. Destroy the marshalling yards, the trains can't run. Clobber the highways, the rivers, the harbors. Keep supplies, ammo, food, and replacements from reaching the frontline troops. You strangle them.
Well, that's fascinating and it's wonderful. But men can report that much better than I.
What's your angle?
The women. The wives of your pilots. Women who kiss their husbands goodbye in the morning and wait for them to come home at night. Only their men haven't had a hard day at the office. They've had a hard day at war.
That story needs to be told.
I understand there's a gate where the women assemble to greet them.
I'll show you. There it is. There's Helen Daniels. She's always the first.
Well, she's going to have a baby.
What's wrong with that?
What kind of security will that baby have?
What kind of security would it have under the communists?
I get your point.
Well, here comes Susan Crenshaw. Betty Flanagan, her best friend's in the hospital having a baby.
Sounds like an epidemic.
My wife will introduce you to all of them.
Wonderful. I thought I'd call my story. I waited at the gate at Itazuki.
Oh, I see, and have one of these girls sign it.
No, that won't be necessary. You called me Miss Carter a minute ago.
Yes.
Well, that's just my byline. I'm really Jane Manton, Mrs. Gilbert Manton.
You're not married to Gil Manton.
Well, didn't he brief you on me?
Well, sure, I knew he had a wife back in the States somewhere, but, well, you know, Gil, old close mouth.
Well, there's no secret about it. My job's in New York, his job is here. So when my editor wanted this story, naturally I chose this base.
Sure.
I didn't even have a chance to notify Gil I was coming.
Gil's in one of those jalopies. Come on. Colonel Eckert, would you please take Miss Carter down to the flight line to see the Sabres come in?
Of course.
And after the pilots have been debriefed, I'm sure she'd like to see them meet their wives at the gate.
Thank you, General Hale.
Goodbye, Miss Carter. Sergeant Klinger.
Yes, sir?
Miss Carter's Colonel Manton's wife.
Yes, sir?
They'll need quarters.
How about Major Goldman's house, sir?
Isn't there anything else available?
That's the only vacancy, sir.
Isn't Mrs. Goldman still there?
She's booked out tonight with the Major's body.
Well, if there's nothing else.
Yes, sir.
I get one short. What's your count?
1.
young women who had followed their young husbands to war in a strange country. What were they like? What made them do it? How did they live? What did they think about? Were they happy? Were they miserable? This is what I had to find out. And here were their husbands, home from a hard day's work. Some work.
I'm starved. What's for dinner?
Fried chicken and hot biscuits.
Bad.
Bill.
Honey.
Oh, I'll bet you've forgotten what day this is.
I have not. It's our anniversary, 1 month today. I'd have bought you a present, but we drove past the store too fast.
Susan! Susan, any news from South?
Betty promised she wouldn't have the baby until you got back. But I think you better hurry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I've seen this 100 times before. Westport, New Rochelle, Great Neck. Wives waiting at little stations to pick up their husbands. There's Gil.
You know him?
Slightly. I'm his wife.
And he doesn't know you're here?
No.
Well, then I'll let you surprise him.
Thank you, Colonel Eckert.
Colonel, where's Jim? He isn't here.
Helen, calm down. He's being picked up.
Where?
Air Rescue's got him in the channel. He had to ditch.
We had a quarrel this morning. I know I shouldn't, but I didn't say goodbye.
Helen, he's all right.
Come on, honey. Let me walk home with you,
I'm sorry, Colonel.
Hello, darling. I had to come here. An important assignment.
I might have known that.
Sir, General Hale wants to see you right away.
Right.
I'm to take Mrs. Mann to Mrs. Hale's until your quarters are ready.
Quarters? What quarters?
Major Mrs. Goldman, sir. I'll see that your things are moved over as soon as possible.
I'll speak to General Hale about this.
I wouldn't if I were you, Colonel. My story's very close to General Hale's heart.
Did you tell him anything about us?
I can be close-mouthed, too. I'm ready, Sergeant.
Yes. All right. It's 7 then. The girls are all in a tizzy at having you immortalize them in print. Oh, and me, I love a party.
Would it be out of line for the Colonel's lady to tell the General's lady that she's a doll?
Oh, thank you, Jane. Won't you sit down?
Thanks.
These girls are darlings. Of course, they're really just kids. I feel like an old mother hen. Yes, Fuji?
Hello, sir. Commissary sent wrong thing again.
Oh, well, never mind. Just cook that roast beef for dinner.
No cook roast beef.
But why?
Not roast beef. Commissary sent lamb.
All right, then. Cook the lamb.
General no like lamb. Like roast beef. General say, break Fuji's neck next time Fuji cook lamb.
Well, don't worry, Fuji. I'll explain to the General so he won't break neck.
Only you wanted to tell. So General won't break neck. No sweat. Hello, sir.
Bobby.
You're dead. Why do I always have to be a commie? Why can't he get killed once?
Bobby, Jerry, Mother has a gift. Speak nicely to Mrs. Madden.
Hello, sir.
They picked that up from Fuji.
You're red. I'm gonna get you. Why do I always have to be a commie? Somebody has to be. Why? Because.
How do you stand it?
Oh, you get used to boys. They're noisier than girls, but I wouldn't trade.
No, you don't understand. I mean your boys playing that game. It's one thing to see it in Scarborough, pretending war, pretending death. But here, when their own fathers...
Your bags are in our room. I know you'll want a shower, And I'm dying to see what they're wearing stateside. Come on.
So I walk in with my little notebook, and 15 minutes later he tells me that if I'll wait 6 months, I can be wife number 12.
I just don't get it. Who would want 12 wives?
You'd be surprised. I don't blame you for staring, Colonel. How long have you been separated?
What?
I mean, how long since you've seen each other?
Oh. 2 years, 2 months, 21 days.
Why, Bill and I have never been separated. Well, I just die every day.
Well, I reckon now that Colonel Matton's wife is here, honestly, your husband is the meanest man. What dastardly thing have you been up to, Gil?
Go on, Gil. Tell her what a hornet's nest you stepped into.
I'm still not admitting I had anything to do with it.
Oh, yes, you did. I know you did.
Well, Colonel Eckert and some of the others thought it best the wives go back home.
Well, they're still here. What happened?
These girls wanted to be with their husbands. So they got up a petition, sent it to General Stratton himself.
Every woman signed it, including me.
Now you know who the real Brad is.
Oh, I have some new records if anyone's interested. Besides, married couples shouldn't sit together all evening.
Shouldn't they? Why, that's why I married Bill.
Don't you think you should go home, darling? They'll understand.
No, I'm fine. Shouldn't you?
There's nothing wrong with me that 3 more months won't cure.
Why, Captain Flanagan, won't you come in?
Bert. Bert, what was it?
A baby.
He's had a baby.
Congratulations. Is it a candidate for West Point or Vassar?
How do you mean, sir?
What the general wants to know is it a boy or a girl?
Well, I forgot to ask.
Forget that. Come on, I know what you're feeling.
Hello? Yes, George? Would you repeat that, please, George? All right, I'll tell him right away.
Colonel Eckert is waiting in your office, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Must be a big deal to get Sergeant Klinger out of the sack.
What's up, George? Here are your runways loaded with MiGs and Yak 9s. Must be 60 or more. When were these taken? Early tonight.
I wish you could see this by daylight.
We tried this afternoon. They didn't get back.
If we allow MiGs to operate south of the border, the 8th Army better learn to swim.
You mind if I stick my neck out, sir?
No, go ahead.
Well, if it were my show, I'd move the F-80s to Kimpo to give them more range. B-29s with heavy demolition bombs. Sabres from here to fly cover. One big concentrated mission and we clobber them.
Could be expensive. Too expensive.
But it must be a maximum effort, sir.
We lost 4 reconnaissance planes last week. They flew at 30,000. Something saw them, something got them.
Here's your answer to that, MiGs.
I'll get on the teletype to General Stratton right away.
Maximum effort strike requires coordination between Supreme Headquarters and Far East Air Force. It would take a week to put it together.
The time's running out on us, sir. The rainy season.
All right, take this, Sergeant. May I remind you, the rainy season starts next week. We must wipe them out before they get more MiGs in there.
I'll take it under advisement. You'll have a new directive tomorrow.
Well, I guess all we can do is wait.
I understand you're flying missions again. You're running an operational command. You are not to fly missions unless it's absolutely necessary. Is that clear? Question mark?
Yes, sir. Unless absolutely necessary. Now what, Sergeant?
Besides, you're too old. Signed Stratton.
Yes, I am.
Well, call me and I'll give you the recipe. Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, it was a lovely party, Marge. Thanks a lot.
They're nice people.
Strange. They seem so happy. I've been to a lot of suburban parties.
And this is a suburban community, if you ever saw one.
And there always seems to be at least one couple that has a knockdown, drag-out fight. It's usually because some husband gets tight and starts necking somebody else's wife in the pantry. Nobody got tight.
The moments together are too precious to waste with dull senses. And as for quarreling, you don't want to. If you did want to, you wouldn't dare. We have a slogan here. Keep 'em happy. And those jet fighters, if their judgment should falter and you thought you were any way to blame.
What called General Hale and Gill away?
I don't know. I'll never know.
Oh, won't you ask the General when he comes home tonight?
All I know is it must be something very important.
But you're a woman. Aren't you curious?
Of course I'm curious. Not asking questions was the hardest thing I had to learn. No, not the hardest. Come on, let's sit down. I'm sure Bob and Gil will be back soon.
Is it true that most of the pilots wear good luck charms?
Mm-hmm. Most of them. Bob wears a bracelet. The children gave it to him.
You mean an intelligent man like General Hale is superstitious?
Well, I suppose you could call it superstition. Haven't you ever seen Gil's good luck charm?
No, I haven't.
I'm sure he has one. We women have our little beliefs, too. For example, it's bad luck to look at them as they take off. And as for mentioning the number of missions your man still has to fly before he's sent back to the States, well, we just don't do it.
That's fascinating. Wonderful copy.
I wasn't talking to a reporter, Jane. I was briefing a wife.
Sorry we had to duck out.
Oh, Jane and I had a nice talk. May I fix you some coffee?
Nope, Gil has to go home.
Is that an order, General?
It's an order, and it isn't top secret.
There are my bags, darling. Thanks again, Marge. This evening has been great for me.
We've just begun. The real story's no party.
Thank you, darling. Good night, General
Good night.
Hale.
We'll be seeing a lot of you from now on. Good night, Marge, Bob.
Good night.
Night, Gil. Hi.
Tired?
Little. Kids okay?
Fine.
Fix a drink?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were beautiful tonight.
I felt like an old frump beside Jane. Wasn't that the most stunning dress?
You look beautiful to me in anything.
Which just goes to show you never look at me. I'm a habit.
Nice habit.
Say, it's a wonder you haven't lost this. We better get it fixed.
Tell me something, Marge. Do you worry much?
No, not more than I should. But sometimes when you're flying over that big, big world out there.
Your world isn't very big, is it?
Oh, it's the biggest world there is. You and the boys and our home. Good party tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, what I saw of it. You know, we'll see a big change in Gil now that his wife's here. Maybe he'll come out of that shell. Nice girl, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. Very. But there's something wrong.
With her?
No, with the marriage.
Honestly, Marge, the things you can dream up.
Well, it was a lot of little things. They just didn't act like people who were glad to see each other. And then when she and I were alone, well, it was things she didn't say.
You know something? You're cute. But you take my word for it. The Mantons are a very happy couple tonight.
All right, but why did you have to come to this particular base? There are wives like these all over Japan.
But I don't have husbands all over Japan.
Are you going to give them the background of our so-called marriage?
I won't embarrass you.
I was embarrassed a long time ago.
Well, what do you mean by that?
It's embarrassing, wouldn't you say, to find you have a marriage only when it doesn't interfere with your wife's career.
Oh, Gil, that's not getting us anywhere.
Nothing ever gets us anywhere together.
But that's not fair. We used to have fun together. Remember our honeymoon at Lake Placid?
Don't blackmail me.
And the miles we danced at the Waldorf?
That was a long time ago.
And that wonderful Italian food in that little place in the village. What was it called?
Luigi's.
Oh, yes.
You stood me up there on our second wedding anniversary, remember?
Oh, darling, I was sent out on some rush assignment.
You remember the assignment?
No, to tell you the truth, I don't.
I do. You interviewed a Miss Susanna Crum. Her husband was dying in the electric chair that night. You came into Luigi's afterward, your eyes all shiny. You'd gotten a wonderful story. You had probed and prodded to see just how that poor, pitiful creature felt.
That was a terrific story. Great woman's angle. I remember now.
Some angle, tearing a woman's heart out.
Oh, Gil, that's my job.
The job's all right. It's the way you take it, as if you were insulated against all emotion yourself. You never feel anything unless it happens to somebody else. What are you doing?
Making some notes on some things that Marge told me. I'm going to call my story. I waited at the gate. Oh, is that yours?
Something left by the former tenant. Why didn't you get the divorce?
You were in the service.
Now, that wouldn't look good, would it? So now it's paid off. I waited at the gate.
What's the use of quarreling? Besides, Marge said we shouldn't if you're flying tomorrow.
Good night.
Gil. Don't be childish.
There's no reason to play the happy married couple when we're alone.
Suit yourself. I'm going to bed. Gil? Gil, darling, if I'd known my coming here would make you so unhappy.
I was thinking about us in this house. A couple that used to live here. Last time I saw them together, he was sitting there, she was over here. Ernie Goldman rigged that up because Loretta was so fair she couldn't take the sun. Fought through fire to be together, those people. Everything was against them, even their religions. Annie told me she broke with her family. That's how much Loretta wanted to be with him. And if you use one word of that in your story, I'll wring your neck.
Flying F-80s again, sir.
Got a ground support job. Highway supply dumps north of Sewell.
I see they grounded Captain Flanagan today, sir.
Had a rough night. Had a baby.
Leader to flight leaders. Contact your forward controllers for targets. Maintain your flight of twos. That is all. Over.
Hello, Willie 3. This is Pineapple Uncle Flight.
Hello, Pineapple Uncle. This is Willie 3. South of Tan Yang, along the road there, you'll find an ammunition dump. It's camouflaged, looks like a house. Good hunting.
Thanks, Willie 3. Here we go, kid. Thanks, Willie 3. Nice spotting.
You're welcome, Pineapple Uncle. Nice shooting. How much fuel have you left?
Bingo minus. Why?
Just got a view of the target. Right ahead of you, a tree. Can you take it?
It's all mine. Remind me to raise your salary.
Yeah, thanks. You shaved tails killed me. You still helping Vandenberg run the Air Force? What's your name, buddy?
Colonel Gil Manton, buddy. What's yours?
Oh, just call me Willie 3, sir. Just Willie 3.
Fuel. Heading for home. Over.
Thanks, Pineapple Uncle. Don't forget that raise.
That's really something to tell your little girl. Mommy, where was I born? Darling, you were born in an Air Force hospital in Itazuki, Japan. Oh, I've got lots of things to tell her. That's one of the reasons I'm glad she was a girl. Girls are more companionable, don't you think? I wouldn't know. Don't you have any children? Look, Mrs. Flanagan, I'm supposed to be interviewing you. Well, I'd like a big family. Bert and I both come from big families. But if last night is a sample of how he's going to act every time I have a baby, I don't know whether I can take it or not.
Hi, honey. How do you feel?
She feels as if she's had a baby. Bert, this is Jane Carter, Colonel Manton's wife.
Oh, pleased to know you.
We met last night, Captain.
Did we?
Oh, you must have been in fine shape, Pappy.
You'll excuse us a minute, will you, Miss Mann? I wanted to get you a diamond bracelet, but they were fresh out of diamonds. I brought you this. And this. But the doll's for her. And I got my eye on one of those great big teak tables.
Bert, baby, these are beautiful. But don't buy anything else. There's plenty to lug home now. Are you going back to the States soon? Yes. Bert's done 95 missions. He only has 5 to go. Oh, Bert, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, forget it, honey. Forget it.
inside, Gil. I'll be in a minute.
Stratton? At long last, Colonel, at long last. Have a nice trip?
Routine.
It's General Stratton. He's shooting the works. He bought your plan, Gil.
When?
Day after tomorrow. It's to be a dawn attack. The F-80s will strike with rockets and napalm at 0455. B-29's exactly 4 minutes later.
That's cutting it mighty close.
They can make 3 or 4 passes and get out of the way. We've got to knock out the commie anti-aircraft. It's got to be concentrated. Yeah, that's enough time. The Sabre jets will rendezvous here with the B-29s at 30,000. They'll fly top cover.
Yes, sir.
Cut your frag order to the group commanders. I'll sign it. You can put it on the ticker right away. They'll need all the time they can get.
Who do you want assigned to this special reconnaissance mission?
I'm taking it myself.
Bob, you can't do it. General Stratton ordered...
General Stratton turned over this wing to my discretion. Get a Sabre ready for the first thing in the morning. Strip it of everything but fuel and cameras. Bob, don't cut your frag order. You're not pretty enough to be a nurse.
There are 10 other guys in this outfit, including me, who can fly that recon. When are you going to quit acting like an overage test pilot?
If I'm going to command this attack, I've got to know the objective firsthand, not from reports and mistake maps.
And I'm flying your wing.
I'll be safer alone.
Look, I don't want to hit below the belt, but what about Marge?
What about Jane?
You've got kids.
If you and the rest of this outfit can fly missions for my kids, so can I. You're grounded tomorrow, Colonel. Why don't you try spending a little time with your wife?
Yes, sir.
I love to see Bobby and Gary's faces when you give them these.
I thought you didn't like kids.
Yes, I do. I love them.
Other people's.
That's not it at all. If it hadn't been for the war, if we'd stayed together...
Kids demand a lot of time and affection.
Well, how can anybody bring children into a world like this?
The world's always like this. Women stopped having children while the men tried to clean up the mess. Be no reason to try to clean it up.
You're always confusing me. You take sugar? Oh, yes, 1 lump. And no cream.
It's good coffee.
Don't act so surprised.
That was a pretty good dinner tonight, too.
I'm glad you noticed. You seem so preoccupied. There's something big in the wind, isn't there?
Now, who's asking that question? The colonel's wife or the war correspondent?
Can't we forget for one evening that I'm a newspaper woman?
Whoever you are, the question is highly irregular. Hand me that tape, will you?
When I was a little girl, I fixed my kite with chewing gum and hairpins.
Did it hold together?
Of course not.
I guess this is how the other half lives.
What do you mean?
Cranshaws, Cranes, Daniels. Nice quarters, good food. Someone to come home to.
Yeah, there's somebody at the door.
Cable, sir.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Miss Jane Carter.
What does it say?
Cable soonest. One can expect first installment Gates story. Regards, Bartlett United.
That can wait till morning. Just toss it on the table. I couldn't help it. It came just this moment.
I'm glad it did. I'd almost forgotten a lot of things.
What do you mean by that?
You figured out, Miss Carter.
That rankles, doesn't it? You should have married somebody who'd be grateful just to be Mrs. Gilbert Manton. A little slave to bring your slippers and light your pipe. Yes, darling. No, darling. Anything you say, darling.
How much longer are you going to be here?
Not a second longer than I have to.
Good. I'll count on that.
General, like onion soup for dinner?
No, not particularly. Why don't you make some cream of mushroom soup?
Made cream mushroom last time. Tastes like onion.
Yes, I wondered about that.
Cook onions before. Same pot.
We haven't had onions for days. I don't understand.
No sweat. Fuji don't understand either. Hello, sir.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, darling. You're going to have the car today. Gil's picking me up.
Oh, fine. Then I can take Jane to the commissary.
How long do you think the war will last, Daddy?
Don't talk with your mouth full, honey.
I'm going to be a jet pilot and kill 1 million rats.
Ma, you're bloodthirsty this morning. Up you come. There.
We gave her that bracelet, didn't we, Daddy?
You certainly did, and I wear it all the time.
When you fly?
Especially when I fly.
When you sleep?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the bathroom?
Sure, sure. Oh, I'll be late for work. That's the boy.
Don't forget, Dad. Fly low and slow.
Your daddy's been ordered not to fly unless it's absolutely necessary.
Who told you?
George Eckert, he wanted me to talk to you.
What did you say?
That you do what you had to do. And I love you for it. I assume today it's absolutely necessary.
You always know when I'm flying, don't you?
Don't forget, Dad. Fly low and slow and absolutely necessary.
Where'd you find it?
In the bathroom.
General Hale, please. Hello, Sergeant Klinger. This is Mrs. Hale. Is the general there? When? Thank you. Come on, children. We have to hurry.
Where are we going, Mom?
To find your dad.
watch the takeoff.
General Hill's office, please. Sergeant Klinger? Colonel Mountain. If you get any word from General Hill, be sure to call me at once. Yes, I'm at home now. Right. Where are you off to?
Marge is taking me to the commissary. Any objections?
Why should I object?
That's right. Why should you? I just want you to know I'm not wasting any time.
Can of pears and a can of milk. I guess I better have 2 cans. I'm drinking a lot of it now. Let's see. Half a pound of calf's liver. Oh, Helen, not again. Oh, morning sickness the whole darn day.
That poor child.
Hi, Susan.
Hi. Look, real live oranges.
Oh, wow. I know just how you feel. Honey can't stand that canned stuff either. I gotta try to get vitamins downing. What are y'all having for dinner, Susan?
I got a letter this morning from Bill's mother.
Oh?
Sent me another recipe. It's an old German dish. Bill just loves it. You take thin slices of round steak, and inside them you wrap a dill pickle, slice of onion, and a piece of salt pork. Then you tie the whole thing up and you let it simmer for about an hour in a can of beer. Says here.
Thank goodness my mother-in-law doesn't know how to cook.
I'm not so sure about mine. But if it's Bill's favorite, I guess I gotta try it. What are you having for dinner?
Oh, I don't know, but it'll be something expensive. Oh, I ought to try to keep the bills down. But Ronnie likes steaks, and I always get the best cuts because... I don't know. I want him to have whatever he wants. Well, you know how it is. I mean, if he just had a regular job, and we were sure, how can you think about putting money in the bank when... Go on. Say it. Say it right out. When every meal you have with him may be the last one. When you hear him singing in the shower, that may be the last time.
Hush, Helen, don't talk like that.
When you trip over his bedroom slippers, he may never wear them again. Now go ahead and say it, Lee. We're all in the same boat.
Helen didn't mean that. You're always overwrought when you're pregnant.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it another minute.
Helen.
I can't stand the noise anymore.
It'll be gone in a moment.
I'm sorry.
See what a nice store this is? Of course, it may not be a supermarket, but we have almost everything here you could find back home. We think this is the best commissary in Japan.
Heard from General Hale yet?
He should be over Anju just about now.
28 from Kimbo, sir. Read it. Forget target, our grid coordinates 3.9-4.7. It is phony camouflage mock-up. Plaster grids 9.5-4.8. Real target there. Real target there. Heavy flak concentration. Over.
Let me have it.
There's your target, Andrew.
And it's a phony mock-up.
Where's the other fix?
It says plaster grids 9.5-4.8. Real target there. Real target there.
San Andrew. 40 miles away.
What a beating we would have taken if we'd walked into that trap. F-80's low on fuel. Sabre jets with only 10 minutes time over target. B-29's plastering a phony position. The whole thing was a setup for the MiGs.
Well, the amount of bounce experience would have caught this.
Far East Air Force better know about it quick.
Heavy MiG formation. M.
What's the rest?
That's all there is, sir.
Who's gonna tell Marge?
You're the senior officer now, Gil. I'll go over and see you later.
Inform General Stratton.
Yes, once in a while, one of the girls cracks up a little, like Helen today. But never in front of their men.
Won't the general ever tell you what he did today?
Maybe, when it's no longer important. It's a funny thing. An ordinary man comes home at night and beefs about his hard day at the office. And his wife tells him how much smarter he is than the boss, and why does he take it? But when Bob comes home, I'll ask him how it was, and he'll say, a little rugged. And that's all.
Well, doesn't that make you feel rather futile?
No. In wartime, if a woman's lucky enough to be with her man, she has just one function. To be there when he wants her. To be a lover, a wife, a mother, whatever he needs at the moment.
You mean you wouldn't want it any other way?
Of course I would. But this is the way it is. Excuse me. Why, Gil, come in.
Hello, Marge.
What a pleasant surprise. You're just in time. We're having a cup of tea.
I, rather talk to you alone.
Oh, I have no secrets from Jane. She's probed around like a doctor with a scalpel, and I've been bearing my soul. I hope you won't make me sound like Florence Nightingale. Sit down, Gil. I'll get another cup.
Marge.
Yes?
Bob didn't make it.
How do you know?
I got part of a radio message. MiG formation jumped him, then he was cut off. Marge.
He's not dead, Gil. Don't ask me how I know, but I do. Bob is not dead.
Then we'll find him. You know, we'll do everything we can, don't you?
Yes, I do know. Thanks, Gil.
Come on, Jane.
No, I'll stay with Marge.
If you need anything, you'll call me.
But I'm all right, Gil. Don't worry about it. Marge, how can you go find him? Please sit down. You have your cup. Silver service was a wedding present. And where it's been. You see, the first 5 years Bob and I were married, we lived in boarding houses on second lieutenant's pay. Not even quarters on the post. And then, the day his promotion finally came through, he had to go and call his commanding officer a meathead. Of course, that's what he was, but... So, Bob was a second lieutenant again that night. And then he turned down $10,000 a year from North American. Why did he do it? Because he had to. Because he was Bob Hale. And the Air Force was his life. I've got to go. Oh, have you? I'm awfully glad you were here. Oh, Jane. You forgot your notebook. I don't want it.
Oh, Colonel. Message from General Stratton, sir.
Read it.
Pending confirmation from Far East Air Force, you will assume command of this wing. General Hale had the utmost confidence in you. I know you will do a good job.
Tell him I'll do my best.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Gil, I have something to tell you. It's very important.
About how the widow reacted to the news? Quite a scoop for you, wasn't it?
Gil, please. This is about me. About us.
There's nothing left to talk about.
Won't you listen to me? Please?
Yes? These orders, sir. They need your signature.
Miss Carter's finished her assignment. Tell Captain Grady to arrange for her departure as soon as possible.
Haven't you had any sleep?
Enough?
Gil, what's wrong?
Nothing. Why?
I hear your wife's leaving.
What's the matter with that?
I don't know. You've got a big mission coming up. You can't afford to think about anything else.
Quit sweating. I'll handle the mission.
You won't handle them very long if you don't take better care of yourself.
So?
Gil, look. I know how close you were to Bob. So was I.
Let's not talk about it, huh? Did you send out the missing in action report yet?
Negative. We're to keep it quiet 6 weeks. Intelligence thinks he might have bailed out. The Reds would dig out every cave in North Korea if they thought he was hiding in one of them. Let's get the war over with.
Roger. We better start the briefing. Those B-29s will be taking off in an hour.
Sir?
Fine.
Good luck, sir.
Thanks. Let's get him started.
Who is it?
Me, sleeping.
Come in.
I couldn't go back to sleep.
I'm glad you came.
Something big's going on. All the jets are gone. What's the idea of the bag?
Well, I finished my assignment. I'm going home.
I've been meaning to ask you. I don't know much about the newspaper business, but couldn't you just mail your story to them and stay?
I'm afraid not.
Gee, I wish you could. Bill was real happy when you came. He says some men can get along fine without a wife, but not the Colonel. He needed someone. He was lonesome. Bill says he'd be lonesome without me, too.
Well, I didn't mean to tell you this, but Gil's sending me home.
Oh, don't pay any attention. They get nervous. The Colonel's awfully high-strung. They all say things they don't mean.
He meant what he said.
How do you feel about going?
No. It's so funny. Yesterday I wanted to go. And then I saw something. And something happened to me. And now all I want is to stay here with Gil. Gil, you used to love me. Remember our honeymoon at Lake Placid?
Sabre flight leader here. Approaching rendezvous. Watch for B-29s and F-80s. We'll orbit till they arrive. B-29, 6 o'clock low.
There's our cover. Sabre jets, 12 o'clock high.
Roger.
They're the F-80s. F-80 flight leader here. There's the MiG base. We've got just 4 minutes before those bombs drop. Let's clobber them. Formation, 12 o'clock high, coming fast.
pick up at 9 o'clock.
We're after the 29s. Let's get them.
There's a MiG on your tail. Brake right. Brake right!
Pull it in tighter. Brake left. He's shooting at you.
Target. Get ready. Roger.
Nice going, kid.
that we hurt, George?
We lost 3.
I saw Cranshaw get it. Who else?
Norton and Flanagan.
At least Norton wasn't married.
Yeah.
Did you see Jane this morning?
No, I didn't.
The plane taken off yet?
About 30 minutes ago.
He never knew what hit him.